we'll be starting right now. So 3, 2, 1, go into the game. So a lot of people ask me why, when I originally brought up to do Sonic 06, to not do the arguably more better and more stable Project 06, and to that I responded this would just be much more funny to do. I actually don't have game audio at the moment, so that might be an issue during the boss section, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So this is going to be using the gems in the game. So a lot of this game, from Sonic's perspective, is broken down pretty unwell, considering the fact that you'll notice in the bottom right of the screen we have a little glowing bar you might be able to see there. That is the ability run, the ability meter, which, because this game is so horrifically programmed. Oh, we might have our first crash of the day. Oh, there we go. Okay, you are going to see a lot of issues crop up. This game is running on a baked potato, so you expect to see some freezes, some graphical errors. You'll be fine. It's all completely fine. Sonic, when you want to get through that, there we go. So we're going to jump through here on this little golden ring. So yeah, I'll be explaining the gems more as they more relevantly pop up during the game. The major two I'm going to be using is the blue gem and the purple gem. The blue gem allows you to just have a lot of increased speed, providing you don't hit anything, and the purple gem gives Sonic I guess a moon jump at the cost of him being really small for some reason. But in the base game, because to defeat enemies and get the bar to build up, and then use the gems incrementally. But in the base version of 06, Sonic's abilities never worked. That bar never goes down. It always it stays completely full. So as we go over here, we're actually going to switch over to Tails. We only play as him three times during the entire run. Once here, once here again, and then once in Aquatic Base, as we will get onto shortly. Tails is, if none of you that know Sonic can actually just fly around and do whatever he wants. But the downside to this, that after a while, his flying isn't really programmed well, as a lot of stuff in this game isn't. We're going to try to go for a timing our A presses here so we can get the switch immediately, so we don't have to do any other stuff to save time. So we can get Sonic's first segment done here and move over to one of the very few mock speed sections which we're going to get here. So how a mock speed section works is essentially Sonic realizes that he is the fastest thing alive and decides to book it at Mach 10. The problem is you have no control over Sonic's forward and backward speed here. He just goes in a straight line. And we're going to use the light speed dash. For any of you familiar with Sonic games, the light speed dash enables you to go along a trail of rings to sort of correct your path. And in the mock speed sections, it actually increases Sonic's speeds for a short segment of time. You can see Sonic puts his hands behind his back a little more than usual. Enjoy the jumping from pillars and pillar animations here as they maneuver programmed correctly as you watch him just skydive downwards. We're going to attempt a little skip at the end here. So what we're going to do is there's a little loop-de-loop section that we're going to approach from a bit of a weird angle here. And three things are going to happen. One of them is going to happen normally. Two of them, we're going to attempt a little skip here. Oh, we managed to get it as well. I never usually get that. And then we don't even need to hit the roll ring as we clear Wave Ocean there. So one of three things can happen there. Either we can just go you either jump from pillar to pillar normally. You either get the skip that I've just done, or Sonic will just dive straight into the ocean there. It's a bit of a risk on runs. I usually tend to play it safe, even though it's a really early on run resetter, so a bit risky there. But as we move into Dusty Desert, another gimmick stage. This game's full of gimmicks, and in this one we have Sonic holding Princess Elise. So all of Sonic's abilities have been kind of changed. He still has his jump and standard running speed. But instead of any of the gems, we actually have this weird glowing ball. No idea what. It's never actually explained in game of what it actually is, but for some reason it just protects you. It doesn't even really do that. So what we're going to do is just try and... It's mainly used to get over this sand, because all of this sand is it's quicksand, so it's an instant kill. So we're just going to try and make our way over it. The good thing about this is there's a lot of like kill the enemy challenges that you don't actually have to do. Like this stage is very, very nice for speedrunning because it just allows you to skip a lot of it. I'm gonna hold it over here so we don't, because you can just fall into the lava there. I'm basically gonna go over this entire run's gonna be, hey, in the regular game, sometimes this doesn't happen, and sometimes something will bug out and glitch, and it won't be my fault. We actually have to let go of the control stick here, so Sonic actually goes further. That allows him to skip, because if you don't hit the spring, you have to do a lot of climbing up a big hill, but you can just jump from wall to wall there and just skip that entire segment. Here we're supposed to fight these robots, so pillars appear, but if you jump on the very edge of this platform and then just get that light speed dash, you can just skip the entire segment after fighting these robots, and then we're going to just homing attack our way to the goal ring, and that will be Dusty Desert done. I still don't have game audio, which is This is going to make one of the other fights really interesting. I don't need game audio for a lot of the stuff here, and I hope you guys have game audio on the stream, but you know. Alright, next we're moving over to White Acropolis here. Like I said, the gimmicks don't end with Sonic 06, so we have a really, really bad snowboarding section here. We're just gonna hug the wall and hope Sonic goes over it. No, we'll take the long way around. Usually you can hug that wall and Sonic will just force himself to go over it. Getting air here is really bad because it can you don't get air control in this game on the snowboard, so we're gonna try and see if we can make this jump onto a grind rail. No, didn't get further enough. We'll keep going over here. There's one segment in this that is really bad, and it's towards the end. You're chased by a little, like an avalanche or a giant snowball, for whatever reason. So we're going to try and hopefully not tie to that. That's one of the few things that tends to kill me in this run. It's either that and the boss rush that's going to come in the second half of this run that gives me the most deaths. As I realise, I don't have the max live counter on, so the camera's going to randomly change here, which actually stops you controls. So what we do is in the run we let go of the control stick like as the camera changes, and then just immediately reapply it to gain the most speed possible, because you can see it gets a bit finicky there. We're going to do it one last time as the camera moves over, and then we're just going to hold down the X button here, the A button, to jump over, and that finishes second one of White Acropolis. So same as before, we're going to use the blue gem. You use any of the gems by pressing R2 to give you a nice little, to use the ability of speed gem. We actually want to, at the cost, I actually don't mind hitting some of the spike balls here, because you actually go faster by not hitting the speed dashes, because they cap your speed. So we're going to use the purple gem here to just moon hop our way right over the gate switch that we have to press. Usually I wouldn't hit the checkpoints, but just playing it safe for now. Hold backwards here to get a forward facing of the tails. Tails zone is really short here. We can skip pretty much everything because they didn't account for the person that can fly being able to fly. There we go. You kind of land on those these searchlights here that you're supposed to like trying to go around them, because you get searched by them, like you get spotted by them. You end up having to fight a lot of robots. Here, and we'll go over and finish Tails' segment, and then we have one final segment of Sonic, which we'll be using for the first time, because the camera turns around on you sometimes. It's just how this game works. We're using this, what's called the cyan gem, or the sky gem. So you throw it, and then you'll see a little glitty particle there, and then unfortunately it didn't work that time, so we'll just try it again. So we throw it up in the air. I'm gonna jump to make sure we get over it. Start jumping it. There we go. And Sonic will just get pulled towards wherever the sky gem lands. And we'll do it again, so we can skip this entire room, I guess, to finish up White Acropolis. My personal best for this time is that I got only a few days ago was 55 minutes. The longest I've ever taken is about an hour and a half. So if we get it finished before the hour, I'm going to maybe show off some little goofs and gaffs and glitches this game just has to offer, because I don't know if you've ever played this game before. It is a mess. It's usually considered one of the worst Sonic games of all time. It's like a third of this game is like a guilty pleasure to me. It's the Sonic stuff because I think it's just fun to the fact that the devs made him so broken, so that the gyms are actually fun to use. Hopefully we can hit on this grind rail here. I don't think we're going to be able to. This is the second and last snowboarding section of the run, to my knowledge, which is they put both of them back to back. It's so awful. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. But this is our last segment here, and it's just going to go through this little C. Can be some issues when it comes to this segment here if I don't hit this grind rail. That's this is what it is. This game's a bit bad, so we're just going to stick to the centre path here because there is a chance that, like I said, being up in the air, you lose all control, so something could just careen off the edge. Hopefully, we hit this grind rail here, then we should take us to the end, thankfully. In terms of tactics we're going to use in this one, it's going to be more the same, just blue gem. A lot of the purple gem gets used here. It's probably the best purple gem stage. And then we'll immediately go into the next stage, which is more or less the same. I think we use potentially the red gem in the next stage as well. Good thing about this game, they're always playing through it. Unfortunately, I can't hear it at the moment, but the soundtrack to this game is fire as hell. And I think you should all at least listen to it, because playing this game is not a recommend from me. Don't want to risk. Sometimes you can risk just jumping over a lot of this stuff, but like I said, I'm trying to play it safe for this because knowing my luck, and I have a billion other things to play, especially after my dreadful what has been called embarrassing performance, pathetic performance of Jeopardy. I'm trying to redeem myself here by having at least a subpar run for 06. We're just going to moon jump over all of this, so hopefully I can go into the grind rail. It gets a bit finicky when you're a bit small. There we go. Dash pads here. Pay close attention to the set of rings that are going to pass in this building right here. You can't pick up a single one of those. For some reason, you just can't pick up a single one of those. So all this segment here can be just bypassed with the purple gem. So it's gonna careen right past over. Yeah, the camera will tell you to go over there, but we don't need to. It's much faster to just hit the level transition, which is this dash pad here. There we go. Nice little slowdown here. The problem is we're gonna see a lot of slowdown in this game, so this game is very prone to just going at 30 FPS at some points, which and some freezes. I expect to freeze towards the end as well, so don't panic when that comes up. So we're on phase 3 of Crisis City here, which is just a sideways tornado. I guess those are gonna happen. I'm just gonna try and go through here. A lot more purple gem stuff, or we can just the game can just kill me. That's great. Usually I don't die in this segment. I've kind of built myself to be more cautious, so we're just gonna purple gem it. It is slower to use purple gem than just normally, so I'm gonna try not to. But we'll let go of the touchpad here, so we don't careen. That's kind of an issue with this game, is that sometimes not holding anything on the directional stick is actually better for going faster. To sort of just let the game not read your inputs, because this game has a really big problem with speed capping. Yeah, we're going to die here as well. Say I never die at this section, seem to die a lot. But I'm trying to think, the next, not the next stage, the stage after is the one that's giving me the most worry for the run overall. Kingdom Valley. Mainly because I'm just not particularly good when it comes to maxing that level, and sometimes I can have camera issues that mess me up on it. So we're just going to play this safe at this point. I know I'm not expected to gold this, so we're just going to... I'll play it super duper safe, and I'll grab the gem. And what is only important for this segment is that we hit the spring, the level transition, there we go. And then we just got to hit all 3 of these, and then we enter our second Mach speed section, and potentially the worst one of the run. which will be, this is the famous line. That tornado is carrying a car. You're going to light speed dashing. I mean, this is for a lot of the Mach speed sections, but light speed dashing is your best friend when it comes to this. Hopefully, I've got no rings at the moment, which is kind of scary. Oh, I'm surprised I did not die there. I'll be brutally honest. Yeah, especially in these segments, light speed dashing is your best friend because it keeps Sonic on course and stops him from like swerving around. Also, make sure you just do not die because, like I said, in most Sonic games, as long as they have at least one ring, you can't die. So we got, I think, one final behind the perspective things here, cameras. There we go. That's what and we should be close to wrapping this up. Crisis City done. 4 minutes 30 is kind of bad for me. I won't lie. Some unnecessary deaths there, but we move. It is what it is. We're about halfway through the stages as we enter Flame Core here. Well, halfway through the run, I guess, more in terms of time, anyway. So Flame Core, as a kid, one of my worst stages to play. I hated this stage. A lot of the course of my game overs, so let's hope history does not repeat itself here with 5 lives. I don't think I should be good. In terms of you just get like bonked by a meteor. So of course we're going to purple gem as usual. It's actually important that we don't go. You see those 2 spike pillars over there? It's important that we do not go in between them, purely because that we get some camera bugs at the moment, which kind of make it really hard to progress. And we're going to make sure, see that rainbow ring, we're going to hit that, so there is a box that you have to defeat some enemies to open for some reason. If you just hit this rainbow ring, the box just opens. I don't know why. We're going to get our introduction to the red gem here, and if you would pay attention to the timer in the top left of the gameplay, you notice it's going kind of slow at the moment, and that's not because the game is slowing down, it's because the red gem slows down time. And we'll just let go of it to have these really slow doors fall down, so we don't want to have to deal with that. So, keep those enemies and we'll move on. A lot of this game from here on out becomes defeat the enemies so the door opens, which I'm not a big fan of personally in a game all about getting from point A to point B as fast as humanly possible, but you know, it is what it is. I'm actually going to grab this life here for safety reasons. Just going to chippy our way through. I hope you guys are scanning that QR code below, by the way, to donate to support the cause. Where our donation goal is, I don't know what we hit at the moment. Maybe one of the get filled in by one of the production team, but I think our donation goal is £200 at the moment. So I hope we can. I hope we can hit that by the end of the stream. Okay, it's very dangerous there because a lot of stuff on this game is mapped to one button. So there's like a 50-50 chance that Sonic will do what is called the bounce bracelet attack, where you might have seen it earlier, where he just kind of drops to the ground and then immediately jumps back up. It's really good for taking out enemies with health bars, because for some reason they thought this game needed it, like some of the more bigger enemies. So, yeah, as of course, this game is just skipping the entire segment. I deliberately skipped the dash pad there to gain some increased speed with the blue gem. As we enter, Sonic decides to jump headfirst into a volcano because, I don't know, he's not the smartest tool in the shed. So we're going to go purple gem here, and then we're just going to jump away from all this segment. The aim of this game is to not play it as much as possible. It's to just skip all of the potentially broken parts. Well, actually, I say that we're gonna see some of the balance bracelet here. So jump up and then we press X to just kind of, you can see like a blue aura just kind of surrounds Sonic here, like a blue little shield. So it allows him to just drop at an increased speed. Into a nice little dark room here. You're supposed to use these little orbs to kind of light up the way, I guess. But I don't know if you're not 5 years old, I guess you can just navigate your way. I have no idea why this room is here. I won't lie, I feel like they just needed to pad out time for the level. I guess the good thing about this level is that it is very linear in terms of, oh, I hate when that happens, that you just get clipped by one of the monsters. But yeah, it's very linear apart from like this room and another room, which we actually it's the first time playing Knuckles, and he sucks. Like most of the characters in this game that aren't Sonic, very jank to play with, and we actually do have to light up the orbs in this room. Unfortunately, like they are mandatory to progress. So we're gonna climb up here, do a little knuckle dive. I don't actually know how you turn these on properly. I think you're supposed to like try and punch them because like Knuckles has like a 3-hit combo, but for some reason that like classes a shockwave, so it allows like things to get stunned and triggers some of these orbs. So, by the way, Sonic's behind this door already. Like the door opens, Sonic's behind it. So Knuckles is technically just entirely useless there. There we go. So we're approaching the end of the stage here. Just gonna do one final jump down. There we go. And that is the end of Flame Core. Ain't doing good on the run. I know we are not hitting that PB. I can guarantee that. But thankfully, this category doesn't exist. This is something I made up. Because I'm basically this is technically a real category. It's just not run in this game. It's run in Project 06. So, but I just thought it'd be funnier to do it in the original game because, you know, you get to see the funny, quirky guy die a bunch of times, and him attempt to cope and say it's the game's fault. We'll use the red gem here as a precautionary. Just don't want to have the train. Radical Train is a bit of a weird one where you can technically lose a life without actually dying. So the entire point of this is the princess has been captured by Dr. Eggman. So we have to, and even though he wants her alive, he's doing like a Joker gambit and is saying, hey, if you don't like hit these checkpoints fast enough, the train will run into a box of explosives and kill her. That makes sense. So he's just doing it. It makes the entire plot of this game for Sonic. It doesn't matter. Like he doesn't actually do anything in his own game. Like the game is named Sonic the Hedgehog, and he has the least important role out of the main 3 playable characters. Because his entire thing is, I'm in Soliana. The princess has been captured. I've rescued the princess. The princess has been captured. I've rescued the princess, and it's just that for about 5 hours. And then he dies. It's a great game. It's a great game. So we're going to see another use of the bounce bracelet here being used to kill an enemy very quickly. So there you go. Watch his health bar just get ready to pop. Hit that, door opens, and then we move over to the Mark Speed section. This one's kind of a short level. So kind of a bad Mark Speed section in my opinion. It's like, in my opinion, it's probably the worst of the run to RNG. Like this is one where random stuff can just kill you the most, because there's just a lot of times where you just won't be in control. Like I'm just not in control of that. Well, that is just where I'm lucky enough to get hit by it or not. And yes, I should emphasize that when you jump in a Mark Speed section, you cannot turn left or right at all. Like your left and right controls are just locked. Like, so you are just at the will of the game. And in this one, where you have to do a lot of jumps in the first half, it's kind of bad. See, it doesn't work. So it might actually even game over here, which means that adds about 5 minutes to the time. There you go. I'll just jump over this now, and then I'm gonna mash jump. Hopefully, don't die. Game? Okay, we're just not feeling it today. Wow, I might game over for the first time on a run. You'll get this. This has never happened before in this run if it has not already. Is the jump gonna work? There we go. Okay, the jump decided to work this time. I'm just gonna... There we go. It's actually faster to just take the damage. We'll move on, it's fine. I'm even gonna play it safe and... I love this game, man. I love this game. This game's really fun. We're gonna game over. I'm gonna game over. This was supposed to be a redemption, man. But no. Not funny games. You guys can watch me suck live. Okay, we're gonna play it uber safe and I'm just gonna jump. Look at him just glued to the wall. Okay, thankfully, fingers crossed. There is nothing dangerous here. I can take damage, but it won't kill me. So, because there's plenty of rings to go around. And jump at the end here, and that is radical train done. 2 minutes 33 is diabolical for my run. So, see, this is the pathway for the rest of the run is being laid out fully, which is going to be looking forward to it so much. Speaking to looking forward to it, we're going to my least favourite level in the entire game, Tropical Jungle. I hate this level. It's so bad. It's another carrying Elise segment. It's the second one, the last one, and the worst one. Because this level is just... Mainly, it's the second half of this level that usually gives me the most trouble in my runs. It's usually where any time loss is going to happen in either this level or one of the bosses. Because it's very much like... I guess that it wants to be... Oh, we didn't hit the thing. Okay, that's fine. This level wants to be, like... multiple branching pathways, like standard Sonic level design, but... all the pathways take forever and they all suck. So, like, what's the point, really? I don't know. It's kind of a strange one. But I'm never a big fan of it in the original game either, like when I first played this as a kid. And also, Sonic moves at a snail's pace and holding Elise, unless he's hitting a dash pad. You get these like nice little vine rope things that it might be hard to see, but you're supposed to press jump again when the thing glows slightly. You'll see the little pink bulb at the bottom glow, so that means you can actually get to where you're going. Also, may note here, this is the only time in the game like some sort of weird camera angle happens. Never does that again for the entire game in any of the stories. Don't know why, but it just does. So we're approaching the end of the first segment here. Let's rip. I love that line as he goes like genuinely 2 miles per hour, and it gets even worse here. There's a chance we can die here because of where Sonic's position, but I think we're in a good enough spot to... But we're fine, yeah. As he waddles along at 2 miles per hour. Right, so we enter the second segment here, which is the one I absolutely despise because camera angles are awful here when I use the vine. It's kind of... I actually never knew about this when I was practicing runs for this game. I just didn't know that vine was there, for and I only discovered it for the first time when doing practices for it. So we're going to try and... The problem is, Sonic is also just kind of glued to the ground. Just got to wait for the trampoline. Unfortunately, we have to take a slightly slower route here because the trampoline just takes forever. I can hear someone order some food in the background of their headset, which is love. Someone's planning their evening meal because it is pretty late as we enter the night shift for Summit of Speed. So I hope you guys are looking forward to some of the games we can play later on. We have... Personally, Elden Ring Bingo. Oh, I missed the vine. That's unfortunate. Maybe we have to kill some memories here. Elden Ring Bingo is something I'm very much looking forward to. And the Bolt Race is coming up pretty shortly because both the runners are slightly blind. By that we mean we have not played the game nor have watched the movie in over 15 years, I believe. So, it's going to be fun. I am looking forward to a lot of stuff on here. We have Monster Hunter coming up as well. That's going to be like a, I guess, game trial. Try and beat how much of the game can you beat in a certain amount of time. Very much looking forward to that. Right, Kingdom Valley here. I got some rings at the beginning there to try and, for safety, because the enemies that spawn down here can just one-hit KO you with no rings. So, very big, very open level. Probably considered the best level of the game. Am I inclined to agree with that? Probably, yeah. I think it's probably the best level in the game. I don't know what happened there. We had some like weird, like Sonic just kind of turned invisible for a second there. You're going to get a lot of purple gem usage, and we're actually going to see the first use of the green gem in this run as well, if it works. Don't worry, we will be showing all of the gems off at some point in this run, whether they're beneficial to it or not. So a lot of them are going to be more close to the end. But like I said, the main ones, the MVP of this run is the purple gem, because it just lets you skip everything in a straight line. I'm actually going to attempt to see if I can do this a bit faster by light speed dashing here, and then we're just going to go back into the purple gem. That's it. It's not the downside of the purple gem is you're not going particularly fast, but when you compare it to how actually having time to play the level, it ends up being faster overall. I ignore this very slow bird. We're actually going to see something unique for this level, I believe, right now, is that we're actually going to take control of the third playable main character, Silver the Hedgehog, who plays entirely differently, who has very telekinetic psychokinesis powers. So his entire gimmick is grabbing stuff and throwing it. You actually see in the bottom right that meter actually does work now. So I can't just fly around forever. They, for some reason, decided to program it in. For Shadow it works as well, but his is like never really used in the game anyway. So, like I said, the game this is named after, they put the least amount of dev time into. I love this game. This game sucks. So I was going to use Silver to fly around here. Stop for a second here. You actually can go from the previous platform to this one, but it's like you can barely make it, and because of how the run's been going so far, don't want to chance it. So I'm actually kind of on good time at the moment for this run. There's a door you got a piece of enemies to open. We're just not going to do that. That entire building we're supposed to go into. Not going to do that either. You actually gain a bit more. If you actually mash the A button, there's a chance that you actually go a bit further. So you just got to hit that, I guess, loading zone or trigger for just to tell Sonic to be playable again, which is nice. So we have one final. This is one of the 4 phase areas as well, unlike most of the game, which is usually just 2 or 3. We're going to see the green gem used here, which is Sonic's going to bust a move, do a little whirlwind kick there, and I'm just going to hope the enemies behind me are dead. Yep, okay. Yeah, we usually do that in circular rooms or rooms with like a lot of weak enemies to try and just get rid of them. Let's see if I can equip the purple gem here. Because the game kind of does take away the control of you quite a lot. There we go. Check for safekeeping, and then we're going to dash over to here, and then we're going to do a very, very long climb up past this room, because you have to defeat all the enemies and then use some like rope jumps, I guess, to try and ascend the tower and then break out some glass. It's quite funny that Sonic will face first just dive into some glass. Like, it's just, no, that's not painful at all, bud, you're fine. If I can, I'm going to avoid using the boost pads here to try and just get a bit of increased speed. I'll try and select the green gem here before we go over here, because this is the second time I'm going to be using the green gem here. Arguably the more important time here, because unlike the previous room where we still have to kill an enemy, there is a chance that the green gem just completely wipe the room clear and just have the door immediately open. So we're doing it now. I didn't get everyone. Sometimes you do, like, and then sometimes you don't. It's just RNG and worse Sonic lands in the room. Thankfully, got the more importantly is the enemies behind me have been cleared. But I'd have to waste time moving around and looking at them. So what I used to do in this run is at this point I would use the purple gem and go around all these towers, but you have to really fight the camera. So I'm just going to elect not to. So we're going to take the slightly longer but safer route of just going over here. We have to go around both, into and through, but around both these towers to get to this segment here. Which is fine, I guess, if you can do it. It's when I mean finding the camera, by the way, I mean that is like, it snaps all over the place and it is a nightmare to get a hold of. Unfortunately, due to like this kind of dropping FPS, I can't go fast on the rails. It involves like timing button presses very well, which I can do at 60, at pure 60 and pure 30, but when it's dipping to like 50 and whatnot, I tend to struggle with at the moment. So I think we're gonna get to the final mock speed section here. The Kingdom Valley one, a beautiful looking one. I always love the music in here. I'm sad that I can't listen to it at the moment, but final segment here. This one a lot of people don't like. I just realised that Sonic did clip under the wall there, and with how these mock speed sections are going at the moment, just kind of scare me. But we'll attempt to power through it. Such a cool visual. If anyone who actually know this game saw the E3 like visual, because they showed this game off at E3 2005, I believe, and they used Kingdom Valley as like the example level, and it looks so it looked better than what it does now. Because fun fact, this game released on a more stable but earlier build than was intended to release. Like there is a further, more developed build of this game that exists out there. Maybe we'll eventually see it one day. I think maybe we kind of do see snips of it, but it just wasn't stable enough for release, so they just reverted back to a previous one to do it. As we finish up here, we finish up Kingdom Valley. Not bad, I guess. I could have done better on certain segments in Sonic's first segment, but you know, I have time to cry about that after. Or I guess Ian's going to rip into me during Bolt, I guess, for it. He can just mock me. We're going to have the last proper level here, Aquatic Base. We're using basically pretty much everything in terms of like characters-wise and gameplay-wise. We use most of the gems here. Of course, purple gem. In the base game, if you didn't have the purple gem by this point, there are two segments here that you just did not play as a kid. Like, you're incentivized to get the purple gem for these segments, so we're doing a lot of gem swapping. The problem is, like, the game just locks your camera and locks Sonic's control at that point, and then while you are like locked in animation, you can't actually access any of the gems. Like, you can't switch over because you use the D-pad to switch between left and right the gems. So I'm hoping it's gonna be mainly blue and purple gem. But blue gem gets a lot more love in this stage than usual. We're going to attempt to do a green gem here just to wiggle some of the enemy's health down. It didn't hit the far ones. Oh, it did, thank God. Okay, there you go, makes my life a lot easier. And then that should spawn two big guys. Oh, it didn't hit the end guy. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I know that it's worked once these two bosses spawn in front and behind. Once it works, there we go. This room has a lot of issues where you can just sometimes homing attack onto some like great orbs for some reason. Okay, it's a bit risky at the moment. Hopefully I don't get shot by the things. There we go. I'm going to grab some rings to be safe because they put an enemy right next to the pulley. It's a really dumb, stupid thing. It's a mandatory enemy to kill. Anyway, that metallic like orb thing we just passed is like a it's like a mount. You get on it and you're supposed to navigate this little like laser grid section. If you touch the lasers, even if you breathe on them too hard, like the weird metallic bubble pops and then Sonic falls straight to his death. There's nothing you can do about it. So we're just not gonna do that. So we get Tails for the almost last time. Yeah, actually I did lie when I said this is the last proper stage. We technically do have the last Sonic stage because Tails just gets his own spotlight stage shortly. But this is the final time we're playing him. It's just a segment in a stage. But hopefully time our A presses here. We're going to like flutter our A presses so we get as much distance as possible. If you hold down A, Tails decreases stamina so much faster. As you can see there, you can tell because his head dips. He makes a little sighing noise. One of the worst parts that runs from here, one of the most annoying parts anyway, that actually probably caused my PB, is Tails has got to kill two enemies right here, and he has a awful attack. I know because I missed the one guy that doesn't die to the instant death thing. So we're just gonna have to pray that I hear him. We're just gonna keep going back and forth because the camera sucks. So Tails does not have a good. I think I'm just gonna do this. Oh, come on. Did we get him? Oh, we didn't get. Oh my goodness. This game hates me. There we go. God, that's one of the worst parts of the entire run for me. Mainly because like the camera sucks, and because Tails' arc that he throws I think they're called dummy ring bombs, I believe. Someone can not correct me on that, because why would you? But yeah, like, he throws them like a weird arc. God forbid he have a normal attack. So what we're gonna go around here? These like weird like light pillars for some reason. I guess they're like EMPs. I guess they're designed to just kill every electronic device next to them. I don't know. So we're also homing attack all these, but we're just gonna throw the sky gem and jump, and we hit level loading transition into the final segment here. We're gonna blue gem it up as we have some hallways to go through. As you know, we're gonna purple gem it. I always get, because the level design is entirely copy and pasted so much in this level. I always forget what's what. We're gonna purple gem here to get over these awful platforms, which aren't actually attached or anything. I noticed once when playing this game, like they're just kind of, they have the illusion of these like platforms like attached like I guess like pulleys and shit like that, or wires, but they're just not. So they're just floating in mid-air because why program this game with anything like decent? So there's some doors that are going to rapidly close here. We're going to use the blue gem to just skip right on past them. Thankfully, this room is quite easy as it just requires hitting the two weird pillar devices. Then we're going to give Knuckles. This is the final time Knuckles is used in the run. And hopefully I'm going to see if we can do a little bit of a launch here. Usually if yeah, there we go. Well, we did face the wrong way. And sometimes you can, using that little launch in the corner. What causes it, I have no idea, but you can actually make it to this button in one glide. Unfortunately, we didn't get it though, because I ended up facing the wrong way. I'm going to use the sky gem here. I was the wrong one then. Jump, just to be safe. And then we have a small little boss gauntlet here at the end. After one final little segment. There you go. I'm actually going to use the red gem here. Just to make my life a little bit easier so I'm not taking pot shots. Because else these enemies have health bars and can just collide with Sonic. They just do damage to him anyway. Mainly these guys at the end here. Try and get... Usually you can kill all these big enemies in one attack. But it's finicky to do so. So on the final segment here, hopefully I can get through. I'm actually going to position myself in a nice way after I kill these enemies. Hopefully these doors are closed. Oh. You guys just try and get through before the doors close. There we go. Very lovely. And just move past this guy because we don't need him. You know, a lot of pot shots here, but it doesn't matter because we're at the end of the stage. So. Get this dash pad. And that is the end of Cultivates and the end of Sonic's levels. 634. Not bad. Wave Ocean Tail. So if you enjoyed Wave Ocean so much, how about we just play it again? You know, and when I mean play it again, I mean to play exactly the same stage again, but this time you're Tails. This game's great. This game is amazing. Like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, in the actual grand story, Tails just decides at one point, because Elise, the princess, of course, gets captured again, because it's, you know, it's a Tuesday in Soliana. So he just decides to, while Sonic's like gone somewhere, he decides to just chase after her again, and then gets to the same place he does with Sonic, and then just gives up and goes back. Like, none of it makes any sense. Oh, I'll make it up there. That's a shame. But I have no idea why this level is in this game. It just feels like they just wanted to put an extra level in, because maybe... Well, I think all... Does Silver have it? I don't think... Oh yeah, all the characters have a stage where the main character isn't playable in any form or fashion. I think yeah, Shadow has... Well, yeah, Shadow... No, I said Shadow doesn't have one, actually. That's the point. Just Silver and Sonic do. Which is really strange. They just decide to give the side character a part of a level. And also, it's also for Blaze is the other character, and they also play through Wave Ocean. But at least Silver doesn't play through Wave Ocean in his run, so we're fine. And also, you may have noticed by now, we're just playing through Tails' segment of Wave Ocean again. This isn't even anything new of like, oh, it's just Sonic's segment, but it's playing with Tails. No, this is just Tails, but Tails. Why did they put this in the game? It doesn't make sense. Thankfully, the game glitches out for a second and makes sure Tails... It tells Tails that there's ground beneath him, but there isn't, which allows him to continue flying, which means we just skip the previous segment. So, that is Wave Ocean Tails done. And that is the last of the regular stages done, so now we are going on to the boss rush. Starting off with the egg Cerberus, or Kerberos. It's tomato, depending on the French. It doesn't have three heads though. It's just a dog. So you guys can two-hit this boss if he lands where you want him to. So you're supposed to charge. I'm actually gonna have to red gem out for this. He charges a couple of times, then you'll notice he goes to like a little break, and then we grind up on his back, and then we gotta charge him into a pillar. Do you see these two giant statues here? They actually do half his HP in one hit, and you can hit him into both, but you've got to time it well. So he should now, if I remember correctly, if he works well for me, he's gonna run, and then he's gonna jump up. Unfortunately, he did jump at the wrong side. Actually, no, I think this should be good, as long as I position him over here. So he's gonna just do a roar for some reason, and then he's gonna just do like a giant, big boss slam attack, and then we're gonna jump onto him. Now, once he gets down to half HP, to try and prevent you from two-hitting him, the first time he attempts to go into like one of the two-hit things, he will turn around, but you can just lead him to the one that's already destroyed. Oh, fighting the controls on me, man. He just kind of decided to go into that, which sucks and usually doesn't happen, but a lot of stuff in this run has not happened yet, and it seems to be first time having it, so it's fine. I just need to run into a wall again. Come on, Sonic. Can we get this done? There we go. Now, because he's done no HP left, he's only got one hit left, he should, when he throws me off, if I don't run into a wall fast enough, just attempt to actually throw Sonic off, but we ended up just getting the kill anyway. It's like a 20-second time loss, which does add up in the grand run, but I'm not going for PB there. You notice, by the way, Sonic is slightly angled for some reason when doing that victory pose. Unfortunately, this is going to be a really bad fight because I cannot hear the game. I don't have any sound cues, so and I rely a lot on sound cues for this fight. So we're going to be red gemming a lot, and I'm going to have to just turn the camera towards Silver because going near him in any form or fashion is an instant death. So you see, we're supposed to when he grabs when he grabs stuff like any objects, that's when he's available for attack. Any other time, you can't go near him. You cannot go close to him. So, and he usually screams the very famous line of "It's no use," or "Take this," which is usually my sound cue because the camera doesn't lock onto him. So I'm just having to play very risky and just, play very, very, very safe, I guess. Which can also be risky because I have to turn my camera on and he could just be next to me, right there. I'm surprised he didn't grab me there. So I'm having to constantly turn my camera around to try and figure out where he is. I'm using the red gem every time I hit him to be safe, but the safest option is just to do what I did there and just slide tackle him. But it can be a little bit risky. And that should be the fight done. There you go. Wasn't that bad. I can do that faster if I can hear the game, but unfortunately, because how we got this thing set up, I can't. So But that is Silver Hedgehog done. A lot of the boss fights are very quick. A lot of them are either really quick or really tediously long. Speaking of, the worst boss fight in the game, Iblis Phase 2. This is where a lot of my time loss comes in on the runs, because the bosses have no checkpoints. None of the bosses have any checkpoints. So if you die during a boss, you have to do the entire thing all over again. And because this can genuinely be a 4-minute boss fight, it can be a run killer. So let's just hope this doesn't happen. We're using the purple gem. The entire aim of this boss is he's slowly gonna like rain platforms down to get closer to these orbs. So, oh sorry, I just hit the mic there. So he will eventually, if he sees the orb get hit, he will jump, and I'm gonna take damage here. It's fine. He has to hit the orbs, like kind of goad him into diving onto the platform, and then you're supposed to jump back off, back on, and then hit his like weird glowing eye. So what we do in the run is instead we just try to skip all the phases. If we're fast enough here, we can actually trigger him diving immediately. Yeah, so if the game detects that like, you're just getting close to the thing anyway, even without hitting, the orb he will just do a jump down. If you want to try and jump now, yeah, didn't work. Whether you get hit by it, it's kind of a shockwave attack. It kind of isn't. You're supposed to stand like way far back on a platform, but you can get away with being in the air slightly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Thankfully, the worst case scenario is that Sonic will just drop down to the ground like a sack of bricks when he gets hit. Which then puts him in the lava, which can be a bit of a detriment. Just kind of prolongs the fight a bit longer. Did we get the dive again? Yes, we did. Oh, that's good. I'm going to try to not take damage here. Jump now. No, I still took damage. It's fine. It's fine. I do know that I'm going to play it really safe for the last one, because the last hit is a bit of a unique one where he's going to... He picks up onto what Sonic's doing, so Iblis decides to charge. He just has to outright charge Sonic on the platform. So I'm gonna grab as many rings as I can. Play it safe. Like timing doesn't really matter here, as long as I'm hitting it about like nowish. So he's gonna throw a bunch of. He's gonna rain down more pillars. There we go. He's gonna rain out the final pillars. I'm actually gonna jump over here. He should do one final set of like lava balls, yeah. There we go. I'm just gonna stand over here and let's see which way he's charging. We'll either do it from the left or the right, and I just need to dart over as quickly as I can. If he ends up doing the left, I'll just use the red gem. He's going to the right. Okay. Nice Iblis Phase 2. Actually, that went really well for me. That usually is like my arch nemesis when it comes to this game. I tend to have the most issues on that, and it's usually, like I said, it's my run killer. But the fact that I may have even golded that, to be honest, that was pretty fast. We get to the Egg Genesis, which is also we are taking advantage of a lack in programming that because Sonic and Silver fight this boss. They had to program it for Silver that he couldn't do damage in conventional means. So what Sonic's supposed to do here is when the Egg Genesis lowers down, he's supposed to run up the arms of it by hitting some enemies and hit that glowing weak spot at the top you can see there. But because this has been programmed the exact same way as Silver's, Silver's supposed to grab boxes and throw it at the underside and like chip away at it very slowly. But if Sonic gains enough height, the game classes like the underside is still a like programmable target, which just means he can very quickly just do a quarter of damage every single time without fail to the boss. It's so stupid. Okay, everyone's gonna start launching lasers now, so he's gonna run to it. Run in a circle. This literally just means that the fight is drawn out so long. Three. Okay, we got one final hit to do. Very quick and easy boss, very brain dead, and has a really fun ending. As we'll see, as Eggman starts to get a bit desperate. Once it hits, because this is one of the few boss fights that doesn't end on 0 HP. So, it means on 0 HP, something will glitch through him, but the fight doesn't actually end. So, he's actually going to attempt to crash into us here, and I'm just going to show you guys that I'm just gonna take my hands off the controller. Oh no, he's gonna crash into me. Kills me. But the level ends before he can kill me. It's so stupid. Like, it's supposed to be like a really like dangerous, like, oh my god, look out before he hits you. And I think it's supposed to like do enough damage to kill you, like within the time frame. But they just programmed the fight to end quicker than what it's supposed to. So dumb. Anyway, here's the final boss of Sonic's side. On a normal run, if I didn't make this thematically pleasing, we would end the run here, but we're not. I might as well. We're going to use this time to show off the 2 gems that didn't really get any love, which is the white gem, which just kind of suspends you in air and allows you to like pick your homing attack target, which is really weird, even because it's a homing attack. I'll show off the yellow gem in a second, but okay, I'll explain what I just did the next time we did it, because I got very, very lucky then. In terms of that's one of the worst things that can actually drag this one longest. And any of you that are familiar with Sonic Hedgehog 3, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, this is the electric shield on the yellow gem. So it actually, you can see on these rings here, it actually draws the rings in. Rings that Sonic drops when he takes hit, when he gets hit, doesn't go in towards him for some reason. It's just like rings that have been placed there beforehand. And this also sometimes protects you from attacks. Sometimes. This is a very slow boss fight as well, like Iblis. Eggman only has like a few attacks. It's just shoot lasers, shoot like bolts, and charge at Sonic. So what we're doing here, similar to Egg Cerberus, you can see like the little glowing thing. We're actually now in control of the Egg Cerberus, and we've got to navigate it with inverted controls into one of the falling debris bombs, whatever those floating things you can see in the background there is. I have no idea what they are or why they're even there, but I can tell you right now that you might think, oh, he's just flying to them easy. That's like the luckiest I've ever been, ever, on any run I've ever done. That is the luckiest I've ever been flying into both of these. And thankfully you only have to do it 3 times, I believe. Oh yeah, I forgot, everyone just starts shooting lasers at this point, once he does like the little fly around the arena. The bombs just drop in set locations. There we go. Actually, yeah, not a bad set there. That was actually really good. I actually might PB this fight based on that alone, because the bulk of the fight in terms of like annoyance is just that first 3 hits. But apart from that, it's very much simple here, because now he's gonna do, if any of you have played Sonic Adventure 1, you might recognize, it's kind of like a, I don't want to say homage to it, in terms of like how you attack Eggman, where he kind of goads Sonic into attacking. Can you make it here? You know, like use his own contraptions to attack him. I don't know, it's a strange one. I would prefer to have done SA1 for this event, but I think it was just acted. I ultimately picked Sonic 06 and not P06 and not any other Sonic game, because this is funny. And I'm happy that we got to experience some bugs and glitches, and depending on what time I finish at, I might even show off some little bonus content, some particularly to do with the silver fight. You can actually clip out of bounds with that fight and have a nice little glitch happen, a very comical glitch, and I'll show off some of the things I have learned over my 19 years of playing this game. This game turns 20 next year, which, that is an experience. Not something I'm happy to vocally say. Going around here, we're going to stand in place until we see the lasers start to get fired, and then once this one comes close to us, we're just going to jump out of the way. Now, you've now seen the rest of this fight, where it's going to be loop round, lasers, targeted laser. See if you can make it here, Sonic. Except, I don't have the lovely Dean Bristow in my from SA1. No way, I can't believe this. Just a reminder, guys, you guys can scan the QR code that is located somewhere below me and help donate as we are trying to reach the £200 goal. Thankfully, the last attack here as well does not fire lasers, so it'll be actually unfair. And everyone's going to get very desperate and go, well, I'll just take out the platform with you on it. So he's got to jump, and that is the fight ended. That is all of Sonic's stages done. And the only thing we're left to do now is the final boss of the run, which is going to be Solaris, the Time God. I think we're approaching. I know we are. I am now past the PB mark. I know that dream is long gone. So I've got about half an hour left to do one fight. So this is Solaris. We're actually playing as all three of the Super Hedgehogs here. We've got Sonic, Shadow, and Silver, I suppose, all here. This is a two-phase fight. Phase 1 is required to get rid of the little like armor plating on Solaris, and you've got to use whether like I can't tell what makes it so like the game tells you to do this. I just remember that this is the order you're supposed to do it in, but Silver's supposed to do damage to him first by throwing his own projectiles back at him. Then Shadow's supposed to use his Chaos Spear to chip away at his right hand. Silver's going to do his left hand, and Sonic's going to go for his inner core. You can tell you've done it when you see the shell kind of disappear. So we're going to move over to Shadow here. So we're using the meter to, we've got a bit of a graphical glitch there, using the meter to just decay his health. Shadow is the MVP of this fight, of both phases, because he is the best to attack with. He's the easiest because his things just lock on. Silver can be, as you may have seen there, Silver can be a bit gimmicky with, or finicky with grabbing some of the orbs, I guess, the little like things, and they can sometimes collide into each other before they hit him. And Sonic is entirely dependent, as you're about to see here. Sonic's just going to dive into Solaris head first, which does do, I think, the most damage out of all three things. He just does a set amount, whereas the spears and the projectiles depend on how many spears or projectiles are thrown at Solaris. So. But it's a bit risky because if Sonic gets hit at all, like I said, just like that, if he gets hit at all during, I don't think I thought the damage to him then, he will just cancel out the animation and go back. Eventually, in the final few hits, Solaris's shield will just completely decay, and then any of the three hedgehogs can do damage to him. I'm going to try and get all the hits in with Sonic, but we are getting low on rings, and every hit does decrease his ring count by 10. So I'm gonna play it safe here and just switch to Shadow. And I'm just gonna try and finish him off here with Shadow Spears. Now, Sonic could do it in one, but I'm not gonna risk it because we were on too low of ring count there. So that is Solaris phase 1 done. And I'm complaining because the soundtrack is really good, but I'm so upset I can't be here. I'm not hearing the music right now. Because you guys get to listen to one of the best tracks, arguably in the Sonic franchise, which is Solaris Phase 2.
No, it's not over yet.
Get the nice, right now in my head I can just hear...
I guess it's not gonna be that easy.
This just looks like some sort of like Zelda symbolism. This just looks like some like Triforce type beat. Like some goddess of Hyrule. So there we are now at Solaris, the final stage. Hopefully I don't take 10 rings of damage immediately. Silver, Shadow's going to be the MVP of this fight, because hopefully we can just... you can only do damage to Solaris once he's doing attacks to you, so we're going to try and bait out him doing a laser when he wants to do it. There we go, and then we're just going to pelt him with spears. And try and whittle down his damage. And then hopefully we can get into a nice loop of... No, unfortunately we can't do it. On my PB, I actually managed to get into a nice loop of being able to do damage to him like consistently throughout the entire run, like without stopping. I managed to do it all before his health even dropped to 0. But Shadow's the most consistent at this. Sonic's kind of risky, and Silver is terrible at doing this. I'm probably going to switch over to Silver once we have about 15 rings left. Because it takes a few rings to... I can actually afford to play a bit risky. I'll do one more. Oh, I actually got him in the perfect loop as well at the very end then. I saw it. That's such a shame. I probably could have finished the fight off then if I wasn't as confident in myself. I'm just gonna play as Silver for a bit here. I don't expect to do that much damage in it. I can afford to. The PB is long dead. Yeah, so once Solaris gets to like a quarter HP left, he starts going ape shit in terms of lasers, which makes Sonic's job really not fun. I must say that, yeah, you also like more or less. I'm very lucky. You're basically guaranteed to take damage every time you switch characters now. You're gonna start each phase at about like 50 HP or 40 HP. He just faked me out. I forgot he can do that. He can just sometimes do lasers, sometimes not. Hopefully I can build up my charge before he tries to turn it off again. Yeah. See, Sonic is not doing damage to this phase. So it's just gonna be up to Silver now. Oh, sorry, Shadow now, which we should be able to wrap it up here. Come on. I think we're gonna be one short. I think. Okay, that is time for the run. Okay. That was quite fun. I did average, I guess. That was like, what, just over an hour, I believe? An hour and 5 minutes? I can't see timer. Yeah. Hour and 6. I guess, or is that counting down? Oh no, yeah, hour and 6, yeah. So, if we have time, production allows me, I might show off some little goofs and gaffs and some glitches. We'll show off some glitches, guys. So the most prominent one is the out-of-bounds Silver glitch. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab as many rings. This could be really bad actually without things. I'm going to grab as many rings as possible. Ignore all these graphical pop-ups. The game is now starting to deteriorate because it realizes what I'm doing. We're going to go to this corner here, and we're just going to wait for Silver to grab us. Okay, okay, dude. You don't throw a chair at me. So usually, let's see if we can do this first time. Ooh, well, yeah, no, I think I'm dead here. So, usually this is what's going to happen. Oh, he threw me out of bounds, but I didn't have a ring. So, usually, I'm going to rely on a ring to get him to me. I'll show what happens if you attempt to do this fight normally. I'll show what usually happens 9 times out of 10. Is, like, on your first time playthrough, you'll attempt to homie attack him. He'll grab you, launch you into the air, and then by the time you fall down, he's probably grabbed you again, or by the time you grab your rings, he's probably grabbed you again, and then just throwing you into the wall again. So what we do is, to get out of bounds, because if you can get thrown twice. I'm going to move these boxes out of the way. We're going to try have him launch me into this wall, have a ring go into me while it's being done, and then have him throw me again. So I throw out of bounds, or have a ring throw me out, have him throw me into a ring out of bounds. I'm going to try and get every ring on the arena. Thankfully, I've got time until production tells me to stop. I hope he doesn't throw a chair at me. Right, let's try this again. Try and stand on the lip here. Ideally, I just want a ring to immediately go into me. There we go. I got it. Hopefully now he actually clips me out of bounds. There we go. So Silver now can't get me. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk over this invisible bridge. Like, the entire hub area is just still loaded for some reason. Just a lot of, like, some of the bridges aren't, but they still have collision, so why? That beats me. So what we're going to do is we're going to nip over. Where is Silver? Where is he? I want to try and do this without clipping back into. Did he breach containment? Where did he go? Where did he go? Did he manage to clip? Oh, there he is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, yeah, you can see him just doing this. I'm going to jump, attempt to get as close as I can as possible, and to the moon. There we go. So, because there's no collision, this won't stop. When I mean this won't stop, this really won't stop. As you see, we're going to exit solely on his atmosphere in about T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we have left the skybox. This game is held together by some easy cooked pasta that has just been snapped over someone's leg. This is you can just have this going forever. There is no kill box. There is no measures to stop this. So the only way to stop this is to just pause and quit. So I will wrap this up here. I got to show off what I wanted to, but I'm being pestered to wrap it up now because I'm taking up too much time. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to stay tuned for, I think up next is Monster Hunter Wilds or Wrestling. It's one of those two. So Good luck, and I'll see you guys later.